Hey, what's going on? I hope my day is coming to an end. I hope yours is going awesome. I hope you had a great start to your week. It's Monday, but as we end the day, I wanted to share with you something about a type of therapy that I've been spending money on. In fact, I just had my first session of the new year and feeling great after. And you're probably wondering, right? You're biting your nails. Excuse me. What kind of therapy? You're probably thinking, you're crazy, Mark. You probably go to a psychotherapist, a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist, or, you got issues. You got a lot of issues. You probably do some. But when you think of a therapist, when you think about going to a therapist, like a marriage counselor, and fortunately our marriage is good. My wife and I, we got a good thing. It's work, but we got a good thing. And not that there's anything wrong with having a counselor or a therapist, right? Maybe you need to work through some mental issues that you have. Again, there's nothing wrong with that at all. You think of, like, with a therapist, you think of fixing something. Now, I went to school for physical therapy, so I know about some sort of therapy, the physical part of therapy, rehabilitation. And I was thinking about when I worked in physical therapy, and I was thinking how people saw me. Now, actually, I would go see them. When I worked in a hospital, it was an orthopedic setting, and it was where people would have hip replacements and knee replacements. It was all elective surgery, and back surgeries and neck surgeries, and sometimes bunionectomies and foot issues and rotator cuff tears, all these orthopedic types of injuries. And I know for a fact, they're really, really expensive. So as I put that number, $1,800 might be a lot of a cost when it comes to this type of therapy. And I'm going to share it with you in just a moment. But I was thinking, like, the cost of when you need a therapist, like, for instance, let's just say a marriage counselor, and that could cost big time, right? It could cost in legal fees and expensive. Like, you think of the cost of a therapist from an injury, physically speaking, like a physical injury, a knee replacement or hip replacement. It could be you're out of work. It could be that you're not able to do the things you do. It can be very, very, very costly. Of course, even the surgery, think about a surgery, an orthopedic surgery itself. The cost of, like, a back surgery. Now, mind you, of course, if you have insurance, if you have good insurance, then probably it costs, it covers the cost of a good portion of it. But the average back surgery can be anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to have your back all out of whack, have it jacked up, regardless of the reason, right? Surgery is costly. Right, and then the therapy after, of course, again, partly insurance, but I know for a fact it's not like the good old days where insurance just cover everything. So what kind of therapy? Are you still waiting to hear what kind of therapy that I had? And what kind of therapy that I spent $1,800 on in 2020? And I just spent my first initial therapy session and went today. Now, it's not any of those things, actually. It's not to fix something. In fact, the therapy that I went with, that I've been doing for the past year, and I go twice a month, and you would think it's a bit of an indulgence, but it isn't, because my body feels good. I've been injury free. I've been able to work out hard. I've been able to pursue the things I have in my fitness goals. And I've been able to stay out of the orthopedics office and the psychologist's office and the marriage counselor's office and all those things. And it's this. I've invested in manual therapy, and actually not physical, well, to some extent, but I've had a massage. I've actually worked with a massage therapist for the past year, actually longer than that. But really, I got serious this past year because I was starting to get older, starting to feel some creaks and aches and pains like normal, like all of us have. And even despite my best efforts in exercise, even despite my best efforts in eating a healthy and pursuing a healthy eating lifestyle, right? For the most part, not perfect, just progress. But one of the things that has been truly a game changer for me, and I've invested, why I'm open to share this with you, because I just finished and I just feel so, so good. Now, again, is massage therapy for everyone? Not necessarily, but I would say is if you're getting older like me and you have some aches and pains and you're maybe working out and you want to work out hard and you have goals that you set and you want to avoid injury, it hands down has been one of the best investments I made in myself. And here's why. Guess what? If I can keep my body functioning well, if I'm able to do the things that I want to do, if I can still work and I can still make a living and I can still do, sorry, I'm at the beach here park and I just saw a nice wave come through as the sun it's actually completely dark, getting dark right now. But I just saw a wave come through, got a little distracted. I can go and surf, and I'm able to enjoy life to its fullest. And one of the things that I've invested in that's helped me stay out of the orthopedics office as well. And I don't know, there's no guarantee, right? There's no like you can trip and fall and break your hip, obviously, right? But I'm just talking about, just generally speaking, we all think of the aftercare of therapy and how much we need to spend. Like you think of how much it's going to cost for the surgery and how much it's going to cost for this marriage counselor or the psychologist and all the costs involved with it. But I look at it as a sense of if you are and you know that you can prevent yourself from having these injuries, why would that not be a good investment? It's kind of like what people do when they come into my coaching program. They invest in a coach so that they don't have so much more of an expense down the road when they have to visit doctor's offices and they realize that knee replacement, that hip replacement, that back surgery is going to be that much more difficult, that much more costly on all accounts when you have an extra 30, 40 pounds of weight, when your body is weak, when you have poor posture, and your spine's taking a hit from just not taking good care of yourself, maybe even in your eating habits, all those things, right? It's all related. So I want to just share with you, sometimes the prevention is some of the best ways you can spend your money, ways you can invest. I said spent because I already spent the money from last year, but I want to share with you one of my investments in myself this year is continuing on this path to having a massage therapist. You're like, man, that's like luxurious. Well, think about this. Here's the way I see it. It's not so luxurious if you look at what's the reason to do it. If you're just doing it to just get relaxed and chill, that's cool. I have a purpose. There's a purpose for me is to keep my body functioning well. Now I can do what I can and stretch and exercise and all that, but there's things that I can't get to that my massage therapist can get to, able to work my body to make sure that it's functioning properly so that I don't get injured, so that I don't risk putting myself in an orthopedics office who's going to say, sorry, Mr. Avens, we're going to need to cut and slice and dice. And guess what? Then you're not going to be able to work out. And guess what? Then you're not going to be able to do this and that. And guess what? It's going to cost you this because you're going to need to now go to physical therapy and you're going to have to do that 3 times a week. And by the way, you're going to go on this medication. And by the way, it's going to cost this amount because your insurance is only this good. You see how the cost can add up on the back end? On the front end load your investments, front end load your health, take care of yourself, invest in yourself. Maybe it's in having a good massage therapist. Maybe it's in a marriage counselor. Maybe it's in a psychotherapist, psychologist. Maybe it's in a fitness coach. Have you ever considered that? A lot of times people think, well, what's wrong with me, Mark? You're the coach. Can you fix my health problems? And really the honest truth is you have to do the work. But you can have the right guidance. Like my massage therapist said, yeah, your traps are a bit tight. And I know that's one of my weak areas as I get tension and stress, probably from doing all the videos and stuff. So I know that I get the guidance from my massage therapist outside of the time that I work with her. And she comes back and says, you know what, this is good. This is working a little bit better. How is the workouts going? This is a relationship. It's awesome. And I can tell you it's sometimes the front end investments are really worth versus having to deal with the back end costs overall. So anyway, I hope this helped. Take care. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. And listen, if you live here local, if you're in the Jacksonville area, I have amazing. She's been a massage therapist for probably 20, as long as I've been in the fitness space. Highly recommend. I can hook you up with a name if you need access. Just send me a private message. Otherwise, take care. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you.